Do you get a good night's sleep every night? Or does it feel something like this? Waking up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, dragging yourself out of bed after a full night's sleep, still exhausted, and playing the game of covers on and off, dealing with those night sweats. I know we've accepted that everyone's tired because we're just busy. But here's the truth. And while it might be easy to just blame it all on menopause, there might be some other factors here at play. In today's video, I'm sharing some top mistakes that you might be making that are wrecking your sleep and sharing my exact nighttime routine that changed everything. Howdy, my name is Jenny and I'm here to help you make simple lifestyle changes to help you thrive in midlife and age healthier. I'm sure I don't have to tell you how important sleep is, but with just one restless night, it can disrupt your stress hormones, mess with your blood sugar and your metabolism, and affect your memory, all of which can create a vicious cycle of restless sleep and daytime fatigue. So are you making some of these common mistakes that are sabotaging your sleep? Let's get started. The first mistake is a simple trap to fall into, especially as you start having that restless sleep and you need that afternoon pickup. And I'm talking about not having a caffeine curfew. Now, I've shared before that I used to be a huge Diet Coke addict. I would drink it first thing in the morning, all afternoon. That Route 44 Sonic Diet Coke in the afternoon was my treat for the day, and then I might even drink it at dinner. And I would tell myself that it didn't affect me, but I still wasn't getting good sleep. After I gave the Diet Coke up, I switched to coffee. And at first it stayed in the morning, but then I started slipping into needing that little jolt of caffeine in the afternoon to keep going. It gave me a little quick burst of energy then, but later in the evening, it made it harder to go to sleep. So now I have a strict caffeine curfew, and I encourage you to do the same. Even if you think caffeine isn't truly affecting your sleep, just experiment with it. It has a long half-life, meaning it takes a lot of hours to get out of your system completely. If caffeine's a regular part of your day, try cutting it off by noon. You might be surprised at how much it helps your sleep. In case you're interested in fixing your sleep one small habit at a time, I created a free do this, not that, easy sleep guide. If you just comment sleep in the comments, I'll send it your way. The next mistake is eating either too heavy or too late that last meal of the day. Now I know growing up, it felt like a punishment if we got sent to bed hungry. And we thought a little snack, maybe popcorn with TV, felt like a treat for the end of the day. And these routines carried over into adulthood. But when I started to try intermittent fasting, I decided to close the kitchen after dinner, and I didn't have anything to eat leading up to bedtime. At first, it just felt strange to break that habit of not having something to eat on the couch while I'm watching my favorite show. But I realized I wasn't truly hungry. And then I realized that I was getting a lot better sleep when I wasn't overstuffed. You want your body to work on rest, not digestion. So if you're used to the late night snacking or having a glass of wine while you're watching TV, try finishing that up a few hours before bed. Maybe back it up an hour at a time. It's a simple change that can make a big difference in the quality of your sleep. Plus, it helps you go into fat burning mode a little easier too. This next mistake I was very guilty of. I hit perimenopause right at the time my daughters hit their teenage years. And our schedule was all over the place. Late night activities, practices, events, you name it. And I found myself relying on that snooze button in the morning to get a little extra sleep. You know how you calculate exactly how many times you can hit that snooze before you have to get up to get ready. Then I read Mel Robbins' book, I think it was 54321, and she talked about how hitting that snooze alarm and going back to sleep for just a little bit makes you not complete that full sleep cycle. So you stay groggy for a better part of the morning. That's when I knew I had to break up with that snooze button. Now instead, I have a go to bed alarm instead of a wake up alarm. I want to get more of my sleep before midnight because it has a bigger impact on how rested I feel when I wake up. If you're tempted by the snooze button, I encourage you to start working on your bedtime first and then maybe move that alarm across the room so it's harder to hit that snooze and wreck your sleep cycle. Trust me, it's a game changer for energy the next day. Once I figured out how to go to bed earlier, I still had another problem to fix. And you probably have made this mistake too, because it's become super common. Using our phone to do that doom scrolling at night, looking at blue light screens up until the moment we go to bed. But I didn't realize that that blue light was tricking my brain, not to give it melatonin to start winding down to go to sleep, but keeping me awake with that dopamine rush. Now I get it, watching TV at the end of the evening is part of a lot of people's routine. So I want to encourage you to put your phone to bed first. Get rid of the screen right in front of your eyes. A TV across the room is not as big a dopamine rush and blue light to your eyes as right here on your screen. And if you can, watch more of a calming show like HGTV House Hunters or Hallmark or sitcom, instead of some big high action drama that's going to get your heart rate up and make it harder to wind down. Now, I put my phone to bed early by plugging it in and putting it away from me because I'm too tempted to do that doom scrolling. And then we have low lighting in our living room. The overhead lights are off, we have lamps that come on, and then they also go off as a backup to my go to bed alarm. So if I miss that go to bed alarm, then the lamps go off and it reminds me, really, it's time to go to bed. All of this helps signal my brain that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. This next mistake is super common. I've done pretty good on this one, but I've continued to try to get better at it. That is not creating a sleep sanctuary. You should walk into your bedroom and it immediately signals to you that this is where you sleep. This is where you get that restorative rest. And if you have mini blinds, a bright alarm clock, a TV in the room, then sometimes that signal gets crossed. You need to create a sleep sanctuary that's cold, thank you to those night sweats, dark, you want room darkening curtains, maybe the least amount of junk light from alarm clocks, electronics in the room, and you want it quiet. Now I know the big craze is to have those sound machines that give you that white noise. I challenge you to try to wean yourself off of that because studies have shown even that background noise is messing with your sleep. So if you can just go totally quiet and get your room cold and dark, you're going to find that that sleep sanctuary really promotes good, restful sleep. I do make sure I have cool pajamas, soft cooling sheets, and I wear an eye mask every night so that I make sure I give my body the best chance of staying asleep. So I'm curious, have you made any of these mistakes like I did? So after years of practicing some of these habits, I've come up with my ideal nighttime routine that consistently gets me good night's sleep. Now, I track it on my Fitbit so I know exactly the nights that I don't get the best rest, and I track back to what I did that maybe affected it. So I'm constantly working on this. And I want to caution you, just because you're laying in bed for 8 hours does not mean you're getting 8 hours of quality sleep. Your sleep cycle naturally has REM sleep, deep sleep, and then on awake time. And sometimes in this perimenopause, menopause era, that awake time lasts a little bit longer than we want to. So you've got to put into place a routine that is going to consistently get you in the right mode to go to sleep and stay asleep. So there's some things that I have a curfew on. I've stopped coffee before lunch. I stopped drinking water a couple hours before bed to save me those late night trips to the bathroom. And I take my magnesium supplement at least an hour before bed because then I do hormone replacement therapy so I can take my progesterone right at bed. And magnesium and progesterone need to be taken at least an hour apart to get that sleep benefit. I have the lights dimmed probably around 7 o'clock, and then something that has become a nice empty nest routine. I get to change into my pajamas early in the evening, go wash my face, put some lotion on, take my contacts out, put on those soft pajamas. That's signaling to my brain and my body that it's wind down time. And then, like I said, I put my phone to bed and we watch some mindless TV, nothing really exciting, HGTV, Hallmark, some show on Netflix. It's something easy. And then when my go to bed alarm comes, I head to my room, brush my teeth, and get in bed and read. Sometimes when I have a lot of worries that I'm working through, I have a journal by my bed and I do a big brain dump. All the things that are making me ruminate and worry about, I put them on a piece of paper, maybe put a few things I'm grateful for, close it and say worry time is over. And this has really helped me not wake up in the middle of the night and ruminate about all the worries of the day. And then the next morning, I make sure I see sunlight as soon as I wake up. This helps set the circadian rhythm. All of this has become such a routine that my bedtime and my wake up time have become so consistent, I don't usually even need an alarm clock. Now, this has taken me years to develop, so if you're not there yet, take it one step at a time. One of these habits, implement it until it becomes easier. Then add another layer to your sleep routine. So if you're tired of being tired, try cutting out some of these sleep mistakes and building that nighttime routine that gets you that consistent good night's sleep. If you've tried all of these things I've mentioned and still aren't getting good quality sleep, you might want to consider hormone replacement therapy. You'll want to watch this video here where I share my experience with HRT, why I chose it, and why you might consider it as well.